Hello. So, Arfan, that's how I pronounce your name, right?
Yeah,
Great. Well, thank
yeah,
you
Arfan.
for Arfan. Okay. No, thank you for scheduling a call today and letting us um, post this and share and help and everything. Where are you calling from today?
I'm from Pakistan.
Okay. Awesome. So, thanks again for scheduling the
Yeah,
call. What can you usually how we start the calls is you can tell me a little bit about your business and a little about what you're doing and what your plans are and what questions you have, and then we can go from there.
yeah, sure, absolutely. So first, I would like to tell you that I just found you through YouTube, and when I watching a video, you were explaining something about LLC taxes. So I
Okay.
got you are a good guys. I need to contact to them. So that's why I get in touch with you.
Okay.
So
No, thank you. Thank you. That's why I put
yeah.
put videos up.
Okay. So my business actually, I have registered my company LLC in Delaware state, and
Okay.
I'm selling. It's an online business. I'm selling digital services. It's these services which we sell all about graphic designing.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So I just recently registered LLC, I think 2 months ago. So now I need to contact to an accountant so I could realize about taxes and keep it running in a proper condition.
Perfect. So you when did you open the company exactly? Did you open it in 2020?
No, sorry, December 29.
December of 2019. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing is since you opened the company in 2019, you're going to have to renew the company with the state of Delaware for 2020, and I think you have until May 1st. I got to check. Delaware corporations have until March 1st, but Delaware LLCs have a little
June.
bit longer.
Yeah.
So you have to renew the company. That's one thing you have to do. And technically, regarding are you the only owner of the LLC?
Yeah, I'm single member.
Single member. Okay, so technically, if you paid any money to open the LLC, that would be a cost to open the company, and that's technically a reportable transaction for the legislation for reporting form 5472, and that's written directly in the Internal Revenue Code. So you probably have to file form 5472 for tax year 2019.
Okay,
Okay,
got it.
so that's something that you
Yeah.
probably it's very likely you have to do right now since we're dealing with the coronavirus issue in the U.S. The tax deadlines have been postponed 90 days. I'm not sure. This doesn't directly list Form 5472 filings, but it would. I think it falls under the corporate tax return filing. So you probably have an extension of time to file until July 15th. So that's the first thing. That's the very first thing. Um,
Yeah, I
the
know it.
next, yeah, so you're probably aware of that, but I wanted to bring that, just like confirm that with you. Regarding the actual LLC, you don't have any, you're doing all your services from Pakistan, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you
I have
have no,
no staff, no office, nothing inside USA.
perfect, perfect. So if that's the case, you don't have any taxes to pay in the United States because, which if you've been watching the videos, I repeat this all the time, you basically have no connection to the US and you don't earn your money here, so you don't have any rights to pay taxes here. There are the two things that we just talked about that you have to do every year to stay in compliance, but other than that, there's no taxes to pay, which is a huge benefit. That's a really great opportunity.
Okay, awesome. So I have some question, and I am confused regarding those questions. So I will can I ask?
Of course.
Yeah. So as you know, my business is online, so I sell digital services. Do I have to register for I mean to the certificate of authority? Do I need to get that?
A certificate of authority
Yes.
with the state of Delaware?
I don't know, but you know better than me. So
Uh,
if it's required for my, then you can suggest me.
I don't think you need any certificates to deliver, digital services from your country. I mean, I'm not aware of any certificates that you might need. I don't think there's any licenses in your field that are required. And generally, if you're not doing anything here, there's no so if I'm paying you for your services as a U.S. person here in the U.S. and
Mhm.
it doesn't, since you're a foreign person, I don't really need to confirm anything other than you're a foreign person. Since you're delivering services and I'm not paying you dividends or I'm not paying you royalties or anything, there's no withholdings or anything. I just pay you, and I do pay a lot of people from other countries to help me with different digital services. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't think you need any certificate to answer your question.
Okay, you mean to say that I don't need any certificate of authority or foreign qualification? Uh,
So
that's great. That's great. So
yeah, I mean, I don't even know a certificate of authority. Authority to do what? Like I don't. What kind of authority? From who? Who? Where did you hear about the certificate? I guess that would be a better question.
yeah, I think mostly people call it foreign qualification.
Oh, okay. Okay. So if you
Yeah, I read from people websites, blogs.
okay. Yeah, I don't really think that's an issue. I mean, how are you getting clients? Are you using like a different service like Upwork and Fiverr and things like that?
No, I sell through my website,
Okay,
and
through your website.
I have not. Yeah, I have not started my business yet. I didn't make any money, but I have business expenses.
Oh, of course. And
So
that's more of a local thing. I mean, you want to make sure you're not paying, and I don't know anything about taxes in Pakistan, but that's more of a local issue because again, you're not paying taxes here. So it's best to keep, from a US perspective, you're not paying taxes. It's best to keep expenses as low as possible because at least here you can deduct them to lower your tax bill there. If you're not paying taxes, there's no point to have business expenses other than grow your business. But
okay, so you mean to say that if I would like to remain compliant, the only thing I need to renew my company every year. That's the only thing which I am responsible for. Is that right?
yes, if you want to keep using your Delaware company, you have to pay Delaware $300 basically to keep your LLC open. And that's with the state of Delaware. That's just to keep your LLC open and actually existing, right? And that's not very much money. It's $300 a year to keep it open, and then you have to file the 5472 form, and you complete it. You have to complete that. And file that with the IRS. And
Okay, so only form. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's it. As of now, yeah, that's really it. And how do you do your banking? How do you have any kind of bank account set up using TransferWise or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, Mercury. That's the name of Mercury bank account.
Yeah, Mercury Bank works great. Yeah, I recommend that to a lot of my clients. So um, that's good. I guess you got the EIN and everything too. Okay, so yeah, it looks like you're pretty set up.
Completed everything. Yeah, I have completed everything.
Great. Now it's just finding clients. Who's your ideal client in the U.S.? Are you looking for U.S. clients, or are you just opening an LLC to find clients anywhere?
Yeah, mostly for US clients. And my
Okay.
ideal clients are embroidery shop person who embroider the logo on cap or shirt, and they print on T-shirt. Those are my clients. Actually, we do a graphic designing.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know much about that, but I understand what you're doing. So that's good.
Is the Delaware state is the best for my business, or Wyoming is the best state?
This is Good question. I mean, the answer is it's all the same. Uh, every state has their own kind of LLC equivalent. It's basically a company. It's just legal liability protection through a company that doesn't exist for tax purposes. So it's literally the same tax result. There's some nuances in the law at a very high level, but it's really not going to impact your business at all. For example, Wyoming's better for trusts and Delaware's better for large corporations. And that's mostly because the case law in Delaware is very, there's just a lot of case law. There's a lot of stuff you can do in Delaware. There's a lot of flexibility because Delaware is a state just known for incorporating companies. And Wyoming's a little bit cheaper, I guess. And it's different, but for your business purposes, it's exactly the same. Wherever you get a Delaware or a Wyoming, there's no difference in how you operate at all day to day.
Okay, that's awesome. Cool. So how can I proceed with your services that you are selling to, as you said me that I need to return the form. I don't know the form number that you told me, but
Yeah.
what are the services that you are selling and by to move with you?
Yeah, great. So the forms 5472, it's just to report the transactions between yourself and the company. And we do a lot of forms 5472. I'm working on putting I should have a course together, so that I can show people how to do it themselves if they want. Our cost for completing these forms, filing to the IRS, and working through it with you is $1,250. And that's basically it. And after that, if you have any questions and other things like this, then I'm happy to answer other questions and go through anything else you need help with.
Okay. Why am I required to file this form 5472?
Okay, I'll give you the long answer. I have a video about why you have to file. I have a couple of videos about it, but I'll tell you again. It's because you probably haven't seen them. Obviously, sitting here watching my videos all day. But
yeah, I subscribe to your YouTube channel. I'm regularly watching your videos.
No, it's fine. There's a lot, but you're here, so I'm going to tell you the answer. It's form 5472 is really a report of of transactions between a 25% owned foreign corporation. So it historically is a form to report transactions between a corporation that was more than 25% owned. So any corporation that has more than 25% foreign ownership has to report any transactions with related parties, and that would be other companies owned by the corporation, but with the owner themselves. And the transactions would be sales of services, loans, different types of payments, and basically everything. And what happened in, I think, 2017, the IRS introduced new sections into the code that treats single member foreign owned LLCs as corporations for the purposes of being required to file Form 5472. So they then expanded upon what's a reportable transaction, and it also includes contributions to the company, costs paid to open the company, costs paid to close the company, and it just really expanded what is a reportable transaction to include basically everything.
Okay, got it. So this is the only form which I need to file to IRS, or do I need to report my income tax to IRS? Is that essential?
Your company could make $100 million, and it could have $100 million in sales, $900 million in cost of goods sold, and $100 million in net profit, and you pay yourself $5,000. You would just report the $5,000 you paid yourself. The other numbers wouldn't even go to the IRS.
Okay.
So
do I need to collect the sales?
So technically, in the same guidance that was issued about filing this form, it requires you to keep books and records of your company. So you're technically required to keep the accounting of your company. However, most companies, like you're probably going to operate a pretty lean operation, and it's just you. I imagine it's not so much going on. So for businesses like yourselves that are pretty small, I wouldn't get too crazy about the accounting, because realistically, you could sit down and do all of your accounting in a couple hours. So if the IRS ever asks you for your accounting or for what happened or for your records, you could probably get it all together in like an hour or two. So I wouldn't go too crazy about the accounting for compliance purposes. But yes, technically you're required to keep books and records for your business if you have a single member LLC.
Yeah, this company is not making so much money. It's just only about $5,000 to $7,000 per month.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not, you probably don't have a ton of transactions, so it's not a lot of accounting to do. Technically, you're required to keep the accounting. If you don't, and you want to just do it every quarter, every year, like 6 months, you'll be fine.
Okay, so I'm just making money, but I am paying expenses from my credit card, which is I got from Pakistan. Most of the transaction I pay expenses from the credit card, which I use from Pakistan. So is there any issue is there will be any issue if I'm using a credit card from Pakistan, or do I require to get a credit card from US bank account?
I mean, I always like having more credit cards. I don't recommend using them all, but I like having them just in case. You never know when you're going to have an opportunity that requires more capital, and it's a last resort. It's usually bad capital because it's high interest rates, but you never know. I like having the option. So I always say get as many credit cards as you can, and don't necessarily use them all. Just get them. But you're not required to have a U.S. credit card. This is kind of a tricky area, because you're saying they're expenses for the business, but you're taking them on your own credit card. If that's the case, it's kind of like the business owes you money, basically. If you're counting these as business expenses, the journal entry would be loan to Arfan and business expense, this. So technically that would be, it's all about how you account for it. But technically that's how I would view it, is like a loan to you from the company, and then those are company expenses. Or the company can pay the credit card, so there's no loan to you.
Okay, got it. So do I require to collect the sales taxes regarding my company?
Sales taxes, good question. I'm glad you asked. Sales taxes are generally for products. It's not for services. There's only the instances where services have to pay sales taxes is more when you have a software as a service in a specific region. But generally what you're doing, you're providing graphic design services, you will have no sales taxes to pay. But it varies. Every state, there's 50 states, every state has their own laws. Where your clients are located determines what laws you would fall under. So if you're selling to people who physically live in Ohio, those are the laws you need to check. Ohio's sales tax laws. But to reiterate my old point, services generally, you don't pay sales taxes on services.
Okay, got it. So no, I'm confident after your conversation, and I think I don't need to worry about this, and I can move with your services. So you can file for me.
Great, yeah.
I think that will be the best option.
Yeah, great. So yeah, I'll send you an email with the details of everything like that. I have a sheet that I'll send you that has like all the questions that I need to know. It's basically information about the company, yourself, and then the transactions, which should basically be what you paid to open the company, and a video explaining how to complete the form if you don't understand it either. So I have it pretty set up to be easy for you, and that's it. No, thank you for taking the call today. And again, email me if you have any other questions. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the call, and look forward to working with you.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. So I guess that'll be it, and I'll send you an email. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Arfan. We'll be in touch. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.